The mechanism removes the reference point required to notice its own absence. A person moves through decisions using only the internal scale they already possess. Anything outside that scale registers as irrelevant or hostile rather than missing data. This begins early. Children receive approval for sounding sure before anyone verifies whether the certainty matches reality. Over time, the nervous system treats quick conviction as the safer signal. Accuracy becomes secondary to the social reward attached to sounding decisive. The habit hardens because nothing in ordinary environments punishes the overestimation directly. In meetings, the pattern shows itself when one participant states a timeline or solution with no visible hesitation. Others adjust their own estimates downward to avoid friction. The original claim stands unchallenged long enough to shape the plan. When the plan later fails, the same person often attributes the failure to external interference rather than the initial assessment. The absence of internal correction leaves no trace to follow. Relationships carry a quieter cost. The withdrawal is then interpreted as sudden or unreasonable because the earlier signals were never recorded as warnings. Self-knowledge stays frozen at the level present when the pattern first formed. Even direct feedback rarely installs the missing instrument. The information arrives through the same judgment process that already filters for consistency. Contradiction is therefore sorted as noise or bias in the source. The loop remains intact because the tool needed to break it was never added. You are already locating exceptions that keep the description pointed elsewhere. That movement is the mechanism defending its own range. What continues to stand out is how groups reward the very trait that distorts outcomes. Loud certainty reduces the discomfort of unresolved questions, so the group defers to it, even when later evidence shows the direction was wrong. The individual receives no pressure to recalibrate, and therefore no reason to develop the capacity that would allow recalibration. The pattern does not require low intelligence. It requires only that the person's internal standard remains the sole measure available. Higher intelligence can simply generate more elaborate defenses around the same original estimate. The result looks like competence from the outside, because the errors are expressed with greater fluency. I am Draven. The pattern continues. It always does. Follow. The patterns do not stop here.